Hey, welcome guys. I believe this video is going to be coming out on Friday. So this should be a really interesting one. So this is on the public side. I decided to do this video on the public YouTube because it's based on something that was just shown on Thursday of this week on the Roulette Master channel. So our buddy on the Roulette Master channel, you know, every morning he puts up a new video. Normally there's two systems. There's one older system and then there's a new system that he shows that's a subscriber system. So on Thursday of this week, he showed something by, I believe the subscriber's name was Patty. So let's shout out Patty on this. She did a great job. And the reason that I'm doing the video is because this is so close to something that I have played for a long time, and very similar to a system that we gave to our members. But I'm going to tell you something. Her unique money management for this has a little bit of a twist, and I really liked it. So I thought we would do a demo of the way that she's playing it and the way Roulette Masters played it. And then I'm going to give you a couple of twists from Cruise Casino Mafia standpoint that were not shown in the Roulette Master video. So here we go. So this is so easy. So if you don't understand the progression, I'll put it in the description, and hopefully I'll remember to put in a link to the original Roulette Master video from yesterday. Real easy. So we're going to be using the dozens. We're going to be doing a $10 bet here and here. Now, you can use any of the dozens. They didn't say this, of course, in the Roulette Master video. But I know some people want to do the follow the last, one that came in. Some people want to do the one that hasn't come in for the longest, whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. You can use whatever you want to use to decide which two dozens you're on. So we're going to start here. We're going to do the $10, the same that they did, so it doesn't get anybody confused. If we win, we're not going to do anything, right? And you can dummy this down to $1 bets if you're playing online or whatever it is. So here we go. So let's just do this and we'll explain to you how it works. Now, you know these are 2-for-1 bets, and of course the 0 comes out on our very first opportunity, which is good because then we can show you how the progression works. So we're going to rebet, but now when we lose our base $10 each, we're going to go to 30. So if you're going to do this for different amounts, just know that you're going to double and add a unit. Double and add a unit. So that makes these $30 bets. Okay? And that's a win. So we're going to play this like a ladder. So because we were at the first 30, and you'll know what I mean by that in a little bit, we're going to go back to our $10 bets. But if we would have lost, we would not be going up. This is a slow progression, which is fantastic. So if we would have lost the 30 and 30, we would have done a second 30 and 30. And if we would have won there, we would have dropped back down to the first $30 level. And if we would have won, we would have then been back at our base of 10 and 10. Okay, so we'll go through more of this as we go along. So we're back to 10 and 10. We're up $10 right now. But don't worry about that too much. All right, that's another win. So this is just a rebet and spin. And the way that there's another win. So the way that they explained it on Roulette Master is that this is a $1,000 bankroll at the 10 and 10. I would agree with that. That's pretty close to what we would have told people privately, is probably that $1,000 to $1,200 range to be safe. But I think $1,000 is perfectly fine. So we're now up $30, right? So remember, if you have a $1,000 bankroll, there's another win. If you have a $1,000 bankroll, right, 10% of $1,000 is $100. All right? So you can decide what you're shooting for. But almost nobody in the world makes 10% in a matter of time that this can do that. So don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. Okay? That's what I say every day. If you listen, you listen. If you don't, you don't. Don't get greedy. And I'm going to explain to you why towards the end of the video. Okay, so you see how you're racking up the wins? You have almost 60-something% of the board covered by covering 2 dozens or 2 columns. All right? You're at $50 right now, and we've only had how many spins? 6 spins. Another win. You're at $60 right now, and we haven't really moved up much at all. There's another win. Now, I'm going to tell you this as well. If you want to play this super tight, you just made $70 in about 8 spins on $1,000. Okay? 7% return on your money. If you're conservative, this is good enough, people. That's good enough to pay for your upgraded dinner if you're on a cruise ship. That's enough to pay for a lunch. That's enough to pay for whatever you want it to pay for. Your drinks for the night, whatever. So don't get greedy. So let's keep going. All right, so we have another loss. So what are we going to do? We're going to rebet, and we're going to do our second tier bet, which is 30. And this is our first $30 bet. And we win. So we go back down the ladder, and now we're at 10 and 10. Okay? And we're at $80 right now. So we're almost at our 10% profit target, if that's your profit target. Okay, another win. We're at $90. We just simply rebet. Okay, we have a loss, right? So let's rebet and go up to 30 and 30. So what we're doing is we're doubling and we're going up 1 unit. Doubling and going up 1 unit. So if you're starting with a $5 bet or something else, so you understand how to do the ratio, right? How to do the bet. All right. So we're on our first $30 bet, and see, there we had a loss. So now when we lose at our $30 level, we simply rebet for a second $30 bet. Okay, so now we're finally going to get, we've had 2 losses in a row. So the next tier up is this. If you do double and you add 1, it's going to be 70 on each. So this can happen. That's why I'm telling you, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. So now we're on our first of the 2 $70 bets. All right, there's a win. So now we're still down, right? We're still down. We're still up $20, but we're down from where we were. So now we're going to go back down the ladder, and we're going to go to our second $30 bet, right? The second $30 bet. And we lose. So we've got to go back up the ladder to the 70 and 70. So it's getting a little choppy now, right? You see what happens? We had all those wins in a row. That's why it's up to you to determine when you leave the table. We were up $90, I think it was, $80 or $90. So this is our first $70 bet. We went back up the ladder. There's a win, right? So what are we doing? We're going back down the ladder to our second $30 bet. So you see how we're just flowing through the negative times. We're not getting crazy. We're not martingaling. We're not doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So let's see if we can win this bet. We don't win the bet. So we're back to the first 70 again. So we're just bouncing back and forth, surviving. There's a win. We go back to our second 30. Let's see if we can win this one. Nope. We have to go back to 70. So when it gets choppy, That's when you know if money management is really good in a system, by the way. And that's why I really like this one a lot. So we're in a real choppy period right now. But we're not getting crazy. We've never really been down more than this. So we were up as high as I think 80 or 90, and now we're down 20 bucks. Okay? So we're back at our first 70 level again. We're just bouncing back and forth. Okay, for the first time, we're going to have to go to the second 70. So we're not going up. This is the second $70 bets. All right, we win. So now we have to drop down to our first $70 level. We lose. We bounce back to the second 70 level. And we win. Okay, but now we have to do it again. We're going back the other direction. Perfect. So now we get to drop down to our second $30 level. Okay. Okay. And now we go back to our first $30 level. So you see how we survived that bumpy period there for the moment. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So, you know what? Now I forgot what I did. I think that was our first $30 level. I think so. I may be wrong, but if it was the second one and I made a mistake, we would be going back to our first $30 level. But I think that was our first $30 level. So now you notice we're going to go back to our 10 and 10. Okay? If that was our first $30 level that we worked our way down to. If not, I made a mistake. No big deal. So you're working your way back, right? We worked our way back from the second 70 to the first 70 to the second 30 to, I think, the first 30. And now we're back at our base. Now notice, we don't make all the money back. So it is going to cycle, right? You are going to cycle, but you never got in any major trouble here because you had a $1,000 bankroll. Okay? So that's why I'm saying when you have a bunch of wins in a row, it's time to quit. It's time to quit, right? So let's just keep doing this, and then I'm going to give you some little hints. So we're back at our base level. We're safe again. Now, I may have not done that extra 30, and maybe that's why we're still minus 30. I don't know, but you guys are getting it, and I will put the description in the the progression in the description. So let's do a little bit more. Okay, there's a win. We're just going to rebet. So I may have made a mistake there. I may have made a mistake. So now we're going back from the 10 to the 30 level, the first 30 level. So if I did, I apologize. But the main thing is understanding the rhythm here. So this is our first 30. And we win, right? So now we're back to our 10 because we went backwards from 30 to 10. Okay, we're at break even now. We probably should have been up if I didn't make that mistake. So we're going to rebet again. Okay, we're back to the 30. So you guys are getting the idea, right? Very slow progression. And we're up $10 again. Let's rebet again. And that's a loss. So that was at the $10 level. Oh, that was at the $30 level. You know what? I think I had won. No, I did not win. I think it was we went up to 30. So this is the second $30 level. All right, I may have made a mistake, but I'm going to put the progression anyway. There's a win. All right. So you guys understand whether I made a mistake or not. Here's the progression. It's 10 and 10. If we win, we stay here. Okay? If we lose, we're going to 30 and 30. If we win, we're going to go back down the ladder to our base bets of 10 and 10. If we lose, we're going to keep the same bet. So we're going to have a second bet at 30 and 30. Right? What happens when we win at the second 30? We're going to go down the ladder to the first 30, right? And we're going to keep progressing back to our base bet on each win. But if we lost when we went back to our first 30, then we'd go back and we'd be on our second 30, right? If we lose on the second 30, then the next progression is what? 70 and 70. If we win, we're going back to our second 30, and we're going to keep working our way down or back up, right? If we lose, what happens if we lose the 70-70 and the 70-70? You're not going to see that very often, but you have enough bankroll to be prepared for that. So the next bet after the 70-70 is 150 and 150. Okay? And you're going to repeat that twice. It is extremely rare that you're going to go beyond that level. Okay? Extremely rare to go beyond the 150 level. All right? Can it happen? Of course it can happen. Of course it can happen. But if you play this for reasonable profit targets and not pretend like this is fake money, and understand that the money you could be making on the $1,000 is more than you're making in the bank for the entire freaking year. Okay, that's the problem that most people have when they're in the casino. The bank doesn't give you 10%. The bank doesn't give you 5%. The bank doesn't give you 6%. But for some reason, unless you make 50, 60% on your money, you're going to keep rolling and throwing and throwing and doing and gambling. That's up to you. I can't stop you from doing that. I can only warn you to treat this as real money, right? If you make 5 to 7%, or let's say you want to play it a little bit more aggressive, right? So you don't want to stop a session until you're within the 8 to 10% range, right? So with our $1,000 bankroll, that's $80 to $100. All right, that's perfectly fine. Now let me tell you why that is better than continuing to absolutely be a lunatic, right? Being a lunatic is going to mean that you're going to make $500 sometimes on your 1,000. But it also means you're putting your bankroll at risk way more than you need to. So now let me explain to you a couple of different things, all right? This is what Roulette Master didn't talk about because they don't do a lot of this on that channel. They're showing systems, all right? So let me tell you the one sneaky thing that our people know from cruisecasinomafia.com. When we play systems that are based on not the inside numbers, but based on the dozens and the columns, which these pay exactly the same, okay? Here's the little sneaky thing that's really cool. You need 2 bankrolls to do this. So you go with a friend, a partner, your spouse, girlfriend, whatever it may be, okay? And let's say you're playing for the same amounts that we did here, just to make the math work out. You're going to be playing independently of the other person. You have a $1,000, $1,100 bankroll. They have a $1,000 or $1,100 bankroll. Okay? You're going to be managing the dozens. Whoops. So you're going to bet on 2 of the dozens and go up and down the ladder, the exact formula that we just gave you. And you're only going to be worried about doing what you're doing. Your partner is going to be doing the same thing. They're going to be playing the second and the third dozen. Second and the third dozen. Okay? You're not going to do the first and the third. I'm not going to get into why, but it's always the second and the third. Okay? That you're going to do. While you're at the table, the only thing that you need to be worried about is this. You need to communicate with your partner where they're at and where you're at in terms of your cumulative profits on a regular basis. If you're up 30, they're up 40. If you're up 20, they're down 20. If you're up this, they're down that. There is no connection between the two bets. You understand? All right? The only time you're both losing at the same time, right, is if the zeros come up, or if these come up. Okay? Because they don't fit the dozens that you're betting, and they don't fit the columns. So if this happens, you're both losing at the same time, these four or these two. So forget about it. Because most of the time, you're winning, they're winning. You're losing, they may be winning a little. They may be winning a lot, you may be losing a little. And what this does is it smooths out the equity curve, the volatility. Because it's very rare, not saying it can't happen, it's very rare that you're having a deep down moment where you're getting to the second 70 bet, let's say. And they're also getting to the second 70 bet or the 150 bet. It doesn't happen very often. So if you looked at it like a graph, one of you may be up quite a bit and the other one may be down just slightly or maybe up a bit. And the reason that this matters is if you look at the two as a cumulative function, you will not have the same volatility most of the time as if you were playing by yourself. So this is a team concept built onto what we've already shown you. Okay? So that's a really cool thing. Now, some people are going to ask the question, well, can I do it by myself? Of course you can do it by yourself. As long as you're tracking these independently and you have a little scorecard where you're tracking where the hell you are on the bets, right? That's all you need to write down is this is a 10 level. This is a 30 level, a level 31 level. This bet wins, you're still on a 10 level. This bet lost, you're on the second 30 level. As long as you can keep track properly, then you can do what I'm telling you by yourself. But again, don't think you're going to get away with having a $1,000 bankroll and doing all of this yourself. You need double the bankroll because you're making double the bets. Okay, whether you're doing this on your own or whether you're having a partner. Okay, now, I will tell you this. If you get good at communicating and cumulatively evaluating the sessions while you're in the session, you will find out, okay, that the $1,000 bankroll each that you would need to do this is potentially lowered a bit. Because the volatility cumulatively is going to always be less most of the time. Most of the time. Okay? So cumulatively, you may need 800 hours to play this and play this. But don't get carried away with that. Always have more bankroll than you need. So what would I do if I was playing this exact system, right? That's the question. Why are you going to play it close? Why? I go to this table doing this, and I have $1,500. I know I'm 90% of the time never going to need the $1,500. But I'm always walking over to the table so that I have that cushion. Right? That's the way I would play it. Okay? Second, stop loss. We know that you have to have a stop gain, right? A profit target. At least that's the way I play. All right? I'm not standing here for 4 hours going up and down from being up 250 to down 75 to up 200 to down 20. That's not the way I play. All right? I'm going to tell you why. For people that are new to the channel, right? I know what I'm comfortable with after playing with this and simulating it. So if I have a $1,000 bankroll and I get this thing up to $150, $200, I'm done. Right? I'm done. Right? So think about it for a minute. It's 20 unit bankroll. because it's not 10 and 10, it's $20, right? So it's really a $20 base bet. So a $20 base bet into 1,000 is basically 20, right? Let's just use that. You can be comfortable and do 25 unit bankroll, whatever. Let's just call it, for purposes of what I'm going to tell you, a 20 unit bankroll for this or for this, right? All right. So 20 units, right? 20 units. 20 goes into 1,000 50 times, right? What did I say? 20 units? What am I talking about? 50 units, right? 50 times 20. I'm sorry. 50 times the $20 is 1,000. So it's 50 units, okay? It's a 50 unit bankroll. 50 for this, 50 for this, okay? Now, this is the secret formula. And I'm going to do this for private members. So if you haven't joined Cruise Casino Mafia yet, there's a couple of reasons. Let's talk about that. We have hundreds of private systems at this point. Private YouTube videos that you can only see when I give you the links. 40, 50 other documents and videos that are on our website in our private member area. Plus 3 volumes of approved money management concepts that you would get. That's worth its weight in gold, by the way, those 3 volumes. That makes more of an impact learning and testing some of those money management than anything you're ever going to learn on YouTube from watching crazy roulette videos, okay? And all the martingaling and all the nonsense that you see from some of these people, all right? The flipping, the martingaling, whatever you want to call the nonsense that they call it today, okay? It's martingaling. The 3 volumes that I provide to you are worth their weight in gold. All right, so off my little shoebox here, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to do for members, I'm going to do a game plan for this. I've done this for other systems, not for every system, but for certain key systems that we really, really, really like. And I'm going to be doing a few of these over the next week. So you're not just going to get this one, but I'm going to do them for some of the best Baccarat systems that we have given out privately over the last month. I'm going to do these in the next week, okay, for people. What are these game plans? What are these plans? Some people will call them a game plan. Some people, our buddy Donnie, Donnie Millions, that a lot of people know, major Baccarat guru, friend of the channel, right? He calls it a money mountain, all right? So whatever you may call it, it's a game plan. And it's a plan, exact details of how to take the $1,000 bankroll, let's say, or less than that if you're starting with 5 and 5. You only need a $500 bankroll if you were starting with 5 and 5, right? So to take you from a $500 bankroll all the way up, showing you exactly what you need to do to safely take that bankroll, lock it in so that you don't have any risk, roll up to the next level, which is this $10 level, right? Roll all the way from each level, how many units you need to make, what you need to do. Ready for this? To get yourself up to playing $25 units, $50 units, $100 units each. So think about that for a minute, right? So if you average $200 playing at this level, let's say, that you decide to quit with, you would play the exact same way, the exact same number of units, if that's what you were, shooting for. At this level, you're basically, it's a $20 bet. So you're basically making 10 units, right? 10 units of the 20, not the 10, because we're making a $20 bet. So you're making 10 units of the combo bet, right? If you never change that, and you look to make 10 units every time, Think about what happens when you go from a $5 and a $5, making the $10 units, 10 units, to now having a $100 bet here and making 10 units. We're not changing anything. We're playing it the same way, and we're going to show you how to create the bankroll and roll up with the casino's money. So it's a game plan. And you can stop wherever you're comfortable, right? Let's say you want to play this on the machines, where you can play this, let's say, for $1 each, and roll yourself up to the $5 level with their money, and roll yourself up and have climbing the mountain, as Donnie says, right? Climbing the mountain to get to the $25 or the $50 each. And now what are you making every session? Pretty amazing, huh? Pretty amazing. So I'm going to give that to members. So if you've been on the fence, now is the time to join as a lifetime member. Okay? Use the promo code MAFIA and the number 50. Now let me tell you why is the time to join now. Because we're already over our anniversary with this channel and making this membership public. We're not staying at this level anymore. We're putting out way too much content and we're doing way too much work. We're giving people crypto information, options, lessons, and learning, and a whole bunch of other stuff that I haven't even rolled out yet. We no longer can do this at the same level. So obviously everybody's grandfathered in that comes in now for the lifetime membership. It's not staying at this level. Okay? So if you're on the fence, it's time to pay the piper now and make sure you get in with all the systems and the private stuff we're giving you, all the money management, the game plans that we're going to now start rolling out for the best systems that we have, all right, to make this into an income source using the casino's money, not yours, not your money, okay, using the casino profits. And get in now because by the end of May, it's not going to be the same price. Okay? Not going to be the same price. So this is a phenomenal system, a really good money management if you play it tight. Okay? If you play it tight. Don't get greedy. If you want to know how to grow from a $500 bankroll to having the bankroll needed to be making $500 in the same time period of playing for 15, 20 minutes, making $1,000 in the same time period, the same number of units profit target, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 in 15, 20 minutes on the house money. We're going to show you how to do it. So check us out, cruisecasinomafia.com. Look at the lifetime membership. And by the way, check out, if you don't know what the progression is that we used here, just look in the description and you'll see it right there. We'll see you on the next video. I hope to also see you guys inside cruisecasinomafia.com.